We're going right back in. Chapter 6, WorldBreakers. Last couple videos, I had a light baking the camera, so hopefully with it dimmed a little bit, I will not be baking the camera and getting all these dune heat waves in the video. But yeah, let's read this chapter 6. Alright, so we got a whole new deck. I'm actually playing as Kudaloon now. And then she has a cool thing, so I don't have to worry about getting location so much. But on my attack, I can actually attack now on the second part of the game, which we are in the second part of the game where I can attack now. And then on my attack, one attacking follower gets +1 strength for this combat, so that'll be nice. It's just always on thing. And then in the chapter 6, we have 3 new decks. So I made my deck. I think this is a 20 card deck. The Automaton has a 15 card deck, and they're playing the Void faction. And this is the new draft deck, which consists of Kudaloon Earth cards. We got some of these Moon cards. Moon cards are the splash, and a few of the generic cards. I think 22 cards in the draft deck. Whenever you complete the mission, you get to draft either from 4 cards or 6 cards, and then you keep half of those cards that you draft from. Alright. The remainder of this deck is used in part 2, Advent of the Khanate. Solo campaign. You will not use any decks, order cards, or new cards from part 1. To play, follow the campaign setup instructions on page 31 of WorldBreakers rulebook. We did that. If you want to play again, you can flip over here. So put that back in the box. And going straight to chapter 6. Okay, prepare the draft deck. Done that. Draft 3 cards out of 6 choices and put them into your deck. Oh, this ended chapter 6. Okay, you are Kudaloon, the true daughter, a powerful world breaker, and the ruler of the Chagatai Khanate. Soon you'll be the great Khan of the reunited Mongol hordes. You have gathered 10,000 warriors at the banks of the Amu River, preparing to ride into the nearby Ilkhanate and unite its tribes under your lithium-fueled empathic bond. Before you can set out in force, you must know what lies before you. Win this chapter to send scouts across the river and deal with any bandits or other minor dangers that you may find. They may find. Objective 6 power. Flip this card over if you win the game. Alright, so throw a 6 right there. Well, 6, 6, that's a 6. And alright, so we got some new rules it looks like we're dealing with from the beginning. Our new rules. Pernicious powder. Your opponent's effects can't wound its own followers. Forced interrupt. If your opponent would gain lithium, place it here. Forced interrupt. If your opponent would draw a card or gain standing from a non-order card ability, place 1 lithium here. Forced response. After you resolve an order card, if there is at least 3 lithium here, remove all lithium here, and your opponent would deal 1 wound to a follower you control with the least remaining health. And then other abilities that deal wounds use the normal rules for choosing targets. Unless otherwise stated. Alright, then we have the new rules. Oh man. The order's tactics. Each time your opponent attacks, it declares 1 attacking follower. Man, I kind of hate the way they did this too. It's like they say... They say if you're playing part 2, take the 2 new rules cards from the top of the campaign deck, read them and set them aside. And just go ahead and tell me the name of those cards instead of me worrying I'm reading the wrong thing. It's like everything's in a weird order. Alright, but this is a card right here. And then there goes the new rules too. Alright. Alright, but anyway, I think this is right. So, each time your opponent attacks, it declares one attacking follower, choosing one of its ready followers with the highest strength. Each time your opponent could block, flip this card and follow the instructions to determine whether it will block or not. And then if it decides to block, it will block with an eligible attacker with the lowest strength. After each block, if there are still attacking followers your opponent could block, follow the same procedure again. Alright, so we got 2 new rules. It's cool playing all these solo TCGs and seeing how their automatons work and such. Alright, we got a new order deck. They're purple this time. So we'll just shuffle these up and get right into the play. Orders, their deck. Shuffle my deck. Yeah, I'm not seeing the screen baking the cards. Oh. Need a sleeve for this one. Dragon Ball Super. Alright, I go first. Grab my 5 Mythium. Grab my 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. 5 Mythium, 5 cards, 1 standing in Earth, which is my new deal. And yeah, players alternate taking turns, 1 action each time. Throw away. I'm going first, so right there. Okay. Action phase, players alternate taking actions, then we do the rally phase. Cool. Alright, so I go first, I'm the player. So, alright, so now I get to play with Kulun's cards. Okay, now I'm not so worried about locations like that. Defeat a wounded follower. Okay, nice event. Enter, migrate, draw 2 cards. Either gain a standing or spin a standing to draw 2 cards. Migrate, draw 2 cards. Either gain Mythium or spin Mythium to draw 2 cards. Or spin standing. What is that talking about? Yeah, let's read that. Keyword. Okay, migrate. Okay, migrate effect. Migrate means either gain Mythium or spin Mythium. If you spin standing. If you spent standing this way, if you do not have any standing at the time you resolve an instruction to migrate, you must choose to gain standing. Alright, so again, enters migrate. Draw 2 cards. Either gain or spin to draw 2 cards. It seems like I'm kind of strange wording, but migrate is standing to draw 2 cards, or I can gain a standing. All right, how many standing do I need right now? I only need 1 standing right now, so I'll draw 2 cards. Okay, defeat a wounded follower. Gain 1 Mythium for each standing you have across all guilds. Gain a Mythium when this guy attacks. Migrate. Gain 3 Mythium. Either gain 1 standing or spend a standing to gain 3 Mythium. Man, they could have really even left that keyword out, honestly, and just described it every time. But whatever, I'll get it. All right, so I have 1 in Earth, so I will play this guy for 2 Mythium. And then I'll draw 2. Oh, okay, you gotta spin the standing to draw 2 cards. All right, so in that case, I'll just gain a standing. Okay, it makes a little more sense now. All right, so this guy comes in. Nobody has summoning sickness, but I've spent my action. Automaton's turn. They will recruit, put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. Flip this card. They play Serendipitous Witness. Forced Interrupt. The first time each round the follower is defeated, including Serendipitous Witness, gain 1 Mythium. Okay. My turn too. Play. I got 2 1-drops, 2 2-drops. So, man, what does Infiltrate say? If your opponent controls a non-signature location, it develops one of those locations. Otherwise, your opponent attacks with 1 follower. I hate the way this says your opponent. It could just say I, or I don't know. It just really cheeses me off. If I control a non-signature location, I develop one of those locations. Otherwise, I attack with 1 follower. Otherwise, your opponent attacks with 1 follower. Otherwise, I attack with 1 follower. Okay, so they will attack with 1 follower coming up. So what do I do now? Probably play a 1-drop that can just kill that. Yeah. All right, so I'll play this one for 1. This one is out. Okay, their turn. They will infiltrate. If I control a non-signature location, I develop one of those locations, but since not, otherwise I attack with 1 follower. And then clearly they're going to go for this guy that they can kill. But let's read this. Each time your opponent attacks, it declares 1 attacking follower. Choose one of its ready followers with the highest strength. Each time your opponent could block, flip this card and follow the instructions to determine whether it will block or not. If it decides to block, it blocks an eligible blocker, attacker with the lower strength. Okay. Pernicious powder. Your opponent's effects can't wound its own followers. If your opponent would gain Mythium, place it here. If your opponent would draw a card or gain standing from a non-ordered card ability, place 1 Mythium here. After you resolve an order card, and if there's at least 3 here, remove all Mythium from here. Your opponent deals one wound to a follower you control. Deals 1 wound to one of my followers with the least remaining health. Right. So this swings. If your opponent would draw a card or gain after you resolve an order card. Each time your opponent attacks, it declares 1 attacking follower. Okay, so this swinging, this is gonna swing here, and then we follow this right here. Whenever an automaton must choose a card, it chooses this ready card before exhausted card's highest standing. Each time your opponent would it declares 1 attacking follower, choosing one of its ready followers with the highest strength. If it decides to block, each opponent will block. Oh, I get to block myself. Alright, so this is swinging. I don't have to block if I don't want to. I can just let them. Yeah, so yeah, why even bother with really blocking this guy? Yeah, why even bother with blocking? So I'll just let him come through and get 1 power. And I am done. They're done. Alright, so discard this card. And my turn. My turn 3. Yeah, they don't direct attack. I just choose to block. Play you out for 2, my last 2. And then see ETBs enters the battlefield, gain 1 Mythium for each standing you have across all guilds. So I got 2, so she'll just pay me that 2 back. And it's their turn 3. It's their turn 3. They will recruit. Put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. Okay, they got this guy. 4-drop response after Baleful Viper wounds a follower, defeat that follower. In Breach, gain a standing in Void. And then that card is flipped. Alright, my turn 4. I could probably go ahead and just swing with the team, is what I'll do. So I can get power. So swing with the team. I'm not tripping. So swing with the team. They swing 1 at a time, right? First chance getting to attack in this game. Well, since I'm playing a solo. Okay, combat. 3 phases. Attack phase. Attack phase. To declare an attack, choose 1 or more ready followers you control, move them forward within play area, and exhaust them. The followers are now attacking. Followers with the stationary ability. After you declare an attack, you may resolve attacks, your attack, or attack. Defense. In this phase, the defending player sends their forces to contest the attack, while battles in WorldBreakers are chaotic events with many engagements happening simultaneously. Each attacking follower 1 by 1. Alright, so they're going to block. They're going to go defenses. Your opponent decides whether to block as follows. If your opponent has more than 1 ready follower, it blocks using one of its ready followers that has the most remaining health. If your opponent has only 1 ready follower and controls the location, it blocks with its ready follower. If your opponent only has one ready follower and its next turn is 1 or 3, it blocks with its ready follower. Next turn is 4. If your opponent does not control a location and its next turn is 2 or 4, it does not block with its last ready follower. Already, I get 3 power. After decision is made, flip this card. Alright, so I get 3 power. All 3 of my guys breached. I get 3 power. All I need is 6 power to win this match, this battle. Alright, turn 4 for them. They will infiltrate. If the ops control a non-signature location, it develops one of those locations. Otherwise, your opponent attacks with 1 follower. This swings, it gets a power. And we go to the rally phase. Rally abilities pop off. There are none of those. Yep, none of those. Okay, ready cards. Ah, man, I forgot, man. My chick, one attacking follower gets +1 strength for this combat. I gotta remember that, because I could have killed that. But I'll just remember that for later. Alright, gain 2 Mythium. Back to 4. Draw 1 card. They don't have a hand. And check for victory, not yet. Flip player order. I just flip this horizontally. And now they're the first turn. And that's that on it. Okay, so they go first now. So they will, I didn't discard this, I should have discarded that. So now they recruit, put the top card of the opponent's deck into play. And what was that? Okay, luckily, that's a 3-drop. Enters gain 1 standing with any guild. Your opponent's effects can't wound its own followers. Forced interrupt. If your opponent would gain Mythium, place it here. If your opponent would draw a card or gain standing from a non-order card ability, place 1 Mythium here. Okay, so they gained a standing, so they'll get a Mythium. I probably should be trying to track their standing, but I think that card overrules that. Alright, but anyway, enters, gain 1 standing with any guild. And alright, they played that. Flip this card. Next time they'll infiltrate. My go. I will gain 1 standing with any guild. I could just attack. And then attacking is swinging with 1 or more. They could block with everything. Their guys are stronger than mine, so that's probably not wise. But I could just drop another unit. Yeah, drop a 3-drop. Swift Messenger, gain 1 standing with any guild. 3 drop. Oh yeah, one of my guys gets stronger when I attack though. Man, if I swing with this 2/2, I could actually just knock out one of their guys. But like, you know, let them swing and then I can just block and then swing later. Alright, so I'll spend a 3. Bring this guy out. They already went. Their turn 2. They infiltrate. If your opponent controls a non-signature location, it develops one of those locations. Otherwise, they attack with 1 follower. They attack with 1 follower. Okay. Each time your opponent attacks, it declares one attacking follower, choosing one of its ready followers with the highest strength. Okay, this guy swings, and then forced interrupt the first time each round the follower is defeated, including this guy, gain 1 Mythium. Alright, so this guy swinging. You can't double block in this game. So attackers removed from combat after 1 block at a time. So, now you know what? I'll just block with the 1-3. Block with 2. I'll take 2 damage. This one will take 1 damage. That's cool with me. So like you got little cards, little jewelries. Alright, and that's that on that. And okay, what they say? The first time around, a follower is defeated, including this guy, gain 1 Mythium. Cool, that's their turn. Go to my turn 3. No, go to my turn 2. And I will if I swing with the team, they could block twice. But their AI says if your opponent has 1 ready follower and its next turn is 1 or 3, it blocks with its ready follower. Yeah, their next turn is 3. If your opponent only has 1 follower and controls the location, it blocks with its ready follower. I don't know what it does, but I can swing with everybody. Oh, do I tap to block? Yeah, tap to block. Tap to block. Okay, so I can swing with everybody. Or I could play another guy out and then swing with everybody. I can't afford that card. I could ETB, gain 3 Mythium by spending 1. I could have them outnumbered. That's pretty cool. On turn 4, I don't think they block. But yeah, anyway, I'll just play this guy. 1. And then migrate. Gain 3 by spending 1. Yeah, gain 3 by spending 1, so. Gain 3 Mythium. Okay. Their turn 3. New card. They play top deck. They got Lowly Bard. Luckily it's a cheap one. Enters, gain 1 standing for each. Gain 1 Mythium for each standing you have across guilds. Each time they gain, well, your opponent's effects, man. The automaton ignores all effects that draw cards, gains Mythium, or gains standing, and can't trigger migrate abilities. Enters, gain 1 Mythium for each standing you have across all guilds. The automaton ignores all effects that would gain Mythium or gain standing and can't trigger migrate abilities. The automaton resolves all abilities. If your opponent would gain Mythium, place it here. If your opponent would draw a card or gain standing from a 9 order card ability, place 1 Mythium here. After you resolve an order card, if you have at least 3 there. Okay, ETB, gain 1 Mythium for each standing you have across guilds. And then again, I'll read this. The automaton cannot have standing at all, right? When taking, follow the normal rules. Your opponent is an automaton that has no can, no mithium, can't gain or spend mithium, gain or spend standing. Can't gain or spend mithium, gain or spend standing. It has no hand, no mithium, and can't gain or spend mithium, gain or spend standing. Okay, so I think that doesn't do anything right there. Gain 1 mithium for each standing, so it wouldn't gain anything. Alright, recruit, flip that card. And now it's a raid, whatever that is. Alright, we'll worry about that when we get to it. Turn 3 for me. Right, my turn 3. Got 1 card in hand. I could defeat a wounded follower. I could draw a card. I could develop a location, attack. I could attack. They could block with 3, but I'll make 1. Defeat a wounded follower. That didn't actually sound so bad. That's their strongest guy. If I attack, one of my guys gets +1. I got 4 versus there. Alright, let me see how this thing works again. Their defenses. If your opponent has only 1 ready, if they only have 1 ready in the next turn, okay, start from the top. If your opponent has more than 1 ready follower, it blocks using one of his ready followers that has the most remaining health. Yeah, let's just see how this goes. I got them outnumbered, so I'm just swinging with everybody. It's these 4. Okay, so do they block with anything? Your opponent decides to block whether it's followers. If your opponent has more than 1 ready follower, it blocks using one of its ready followers that has the most remaining health. Alright, the mithium cost on this is the highest. Okay, after this wounds a follower, defeat that follower. Breach, gain 1 standing. So this one's gonna block the biggest guy, which is this. Okay, whenever an automaton must choose, it follows these guidelines in order. Ready cards before exhausted cards. Highest standing requirement, that one or that one. Highest mithium cost. Yeah, highest standing, highest mithium cost, that one. Alright, so response after Baleful Viper wounds the follower, defeat that follower. Yeah, that was actually kind of sucky for me. But anyway, 2 damage right there. And then somehow this guy kills my guy. But whatever. Alright, that one's discarded. She doesn't need to tap, so. Okay. That one's dead. This one's still swinging. If the enemy has more than 1 ready follower, it blocks using one of its ready followers that has the most remaining health. Okay, this one blocks, so this one is tapped. The most remaining health, so 3. It'll block with this one. This one goes after this Ready cards before exhausted, highest standing requirement. So it'll go for either one of these. Highest standing requirement. Okay, when this guy attacks, I gain 1, so gain 1. Okay, lucky for me, you could actually take this one out just as quick as it tries to take this one out, so I'll have it take this one out. But then highest lithium cost, fewest stages. You're still tied, your choice, my choice, so it'll be this one. Alright, so to knock this one out. Okay, this one gets knocked out. And then what gets the damage? This one, the highest remaining health, so this one gets 1 damage. Maybe that wasn't a wise attack, really, now that I think about it. Okay, damage, 1 damage. And then who else is still swinging? If your opponent has more than 1 ready follower, it blocks using one of its ready followers. If your opponent has only 1 ready follower and controls the location, it blocks with its ready follower. If your opponent has only 1 ready follower and its next turn is 1 or 3, it blocks with the ready follower, and hope is 4. If your opponent does not control a location and its next turn is 3 or 4, it does not block with the last ready follower. Alright, so this one doesn't block. I come through with 2. I get 2 power. 1, 2. Almost at a victory of 6. And that is that on it. Now their turn 4. Their turn 4. They will raid. Okay, if your opponent controls a ready follower, it attacks with 1 follower. That follower gains breach, gain 5 lithium for this combat. Okay, that's crazy. If your opponent controls a ready follower, it attacks with 1 follower. That follower gains breach, gain 5 lithium for this combat. Otherwise, your opponent develops a location. Man, in addition, I hate that word. Otherwise, it's just like a word everybody doesn't actually know the definition to. You could say in addition. But this follower gains breach, gain 5 lithium for this combat. Okay, 5 lithium. If your opponent would gain lithium, place it here. So they got 5 somehow. So that's 6. 6. Forced interrupts. After you resolve an order card, if there are at least 3, remove all from here. Your opponent deals 1 wound to a follower you control with the least remaining health. Yep, it'll basically go for that one because it's the highest lithium guy. Alright, sucks for me. This guy dies. Oh man. I think there's another trigger going off too. The first time each round the follower is defeated, including this guy, gained 1. So they would have gained 1, but it all goes away anyway. This response after baleful wounds breach, gain 1. I think that guy just blocked. Okay, alright, so I think we're all caught up. This one dies. And yeah, that one breach. They get a power, bringing them to 3. It does say your opponent deals 1 wound to a follower you control with the least remaining health. Remove all, remove all lithium from there. Okay. Alright, my turn 4. I will Ugh, man. Yeah, this game is different. I could draw a card. I could defeat a wounded follower. I could draw a card, then it might not be what I want it to be. I could defeat that guy. I could defeat that guy too. I think I'll just go ahead and defeat that one for 2. Yeah, defeat this one for 2. Defeat a wounded follower. Defeat that one. First card they discarded. And that's the end of the round. We will rally phase, no rally phase stuff. Ready cards. 3 versus 2 now. Check for victory. I've got 5. They've got 3. Gain 2 Mythium for me. Draw 1 card. Okay, another event. Check for victory. Nope. Flip player order. So I go first now. Turn 1. Okay, call to arms. Event. Discovery Warfare. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal 2 follower cards. Draw them both and shuffle your deck. You may play one of those cards, paying all costs. Alright, this sounds like a cool way to start, so I will play that. 0 drop, 1 standing. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal 2 followers. I can't pay for this guy. 2 followers. Draw both of them and shuffle your deck. You may play one of those cards, paying all costs. I can't afford it though. Okay, but I can play it later though. Alright, so both of these in my hand. I've got 4 Mythium. Play another follower card, paying 2 less. Either gain Mythium or spin to resolve the indicated effect. Okay. Alright, so I'll just pay for the 1 cost. Play you out for 1. And their turn. Their turn 1. Okay, they set the trap. If your opponent controls a location, they gain 2. But in addition, it gains 1. 1. Either way, put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. See, they could have just said they could have just said either way instead of otherwise. I really don't like that otherwise word. All right, flip this card. Cunning Reclaimer comes out. And then that raid crap, which is they get 5 Mythium, which does a damage to one of my guys, which all my guys have 1 health. This is a kind of alright time to attack, because if they block, they'll be tapped down. Man, this is weird. Right. Definitely can't afford this 5 drop. Man, I might have actually did better trying to... No, but I couldn't afford it yet, so that was... I could play that now. I might have did better just trying to gain 1 Mythium, but then that would have been building up. If I attack, that's gonna die. That's gonna die. That one's gonna still be alive. That one's still gonna be alive. That one's gonna still be alive. Maybe. Yeah, they got more guys than me, so why would I even attack? Yeah, actually, don't swing because they're gonna try to do this raid thing next time. We'll still get 5 Mythium and get a free damage on me. So don't attack. So I will, instead, I will... Man, like this blocking is... You gotta read this. Blocking, if your opponent has more than one ready follower, it blocks with using one of his ready followers that has the most remaining health. I'll block with that one, so no pointing, swinging. So, I can gain a Mythium, I could draw a card. I'll draw a card. Alright, this guy, gain 1 standing with any guild. Okay. Alright, their turn. 2. Did I flip the turn order? Yeah, I went first this time. Man, I'm getting confused now. They played that. Their turn 2, I think. Okay, they're gonna raid now. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, they raid now. If your opponent controls a ready follower, it attacks with 1 follower. That follower gains breach gain, but they're not gonna breach though. Otherwise, your opponent develops location. All right, so they swing with 1 guy. Choosing their guy is ready cards before exhausted. Highest standing requirement. One of those. Highest Mythium cost. No, the orders tactics. Each time your opponent attacks, it declares 1 attacking follower, choosing one of his ready followers with the highest attack. That one. Each time your opponent could block, flip, or whatever. Okay, so this one swings for 3. Choose a follower. It can't block this combat. So they choose a follower they can't block. Highest standing requirement. That one. Highest Mythium cost. Fewest remaining stages if still tied. Your choice. Highest standing requirement. Highest Mythium cost. Alright, so my choice. So this one can't block. So this one can't block, but you can block. So block for 2 right there. This one dies. You get 2 damage right there, but you don't breach though, so that's cool. All right, my turn 3. Play you for 2. ETB, gain 1 standing within a guild. Go to 2. And that's my turn. Turn 3 for them. They will... Yeah, it's supposed to be there. They'll recruit. Top card of the deck. Man, I was really ahead at one point, but now I'm not ahead. Okay. My turn 4. I only need one measly power to win. They need 3. Man, I had the advantage. What happened? Yeah, because the combat is like magic combat. You just swing and they choose what to block. Gain 1 standing with the even kill. I think I'm better off blocking. They got too many guys out, man. When I had more guys, I could have been playing smarter, I think. I don't know. I got this big 5 drop that I can't really use right now. If I gain the 1 now, and screw it, let me draw a card. This guy enters game 1. If you control at least 2 other followers, draw a card. That'll work. Alright, their final turn of the round, they will infiltrate. If your opponent controls a non-signature location, they develop 1, but otherwise, your opponent attacks with 1 follower. Highest strength. Nobody has the highest strength. So then we go down to this one. Ready cards before exhausted. Highest standing requirement. This one. Everybody's the 1 strength. These 2 have a high. These ones have a 1 standing. Highest mythium cost. Yeah, it's gonna be that guy. Alright, so this guy can 1-shot a guy, but I just have it kill my 1/1 and we can trade. Because I don't want you to breach. Yeah, so I'll trade and get rid of that. Yep, both die. No other triggers going off. Bloodshed. When this attacks alone, it deals 1 wound to a follower defending player controls. Oh man, it's garbage. Alright, nothing. Cool. Alright. That's their turn. Discard that. Now, flip the card. They go first. Ready cards. Draw a card. Gain 2 mythium. No rally stuff. Nope. Their turn first. They will recruit. Void Apprentice enters. Gain a standing. Gain a. So they'll gain a mythium. My turn. Man, now they got me really outnumbered. 5-2. How in the crap do they have? Every turn they putting something out, and it's regardless to how much it costs. They just get to put it out. If you have at least 3 standing with 1 guild, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. Gain 1. If you control at least 2 other followers, draw a card. Yeah, just go ahead and do that. Spend all 3. Gain 1. If you control at least 2 other guys, draw 1 card. Okay, finally got a location. Man, didn't draw a location all yet. I'm down to what? I'm down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Down 7 cards. First location. Weird. Okay, yeah, this is kind of what I need to be doing, is getting power through locations. But okay, I need 1 power. They've got 5 guys out. I got 3. But this way, though, they only attack with 1 guy. So the game should be technically easier. But not with all that other crap they got going on. Alright, so their turn 2. With this card, infiltrate. If your opponent controls a 9 signature location, I know I don't. They don't. But otherwise, your opponent attacks with 1 follower. Good thing I got blockers, I guess. They choose the guy with the highest strength. This guy. If Cunning Reclaimer is attacking alone, choose a follower. It can't block for this combat. So, okay, who do they choose? Ready cards, highest standing requirement. That one, highest mythium cost. So this one can't block. So I can block with either one of these. I'll block with either one of these guys would die. I don't want them to breach. And I do want to take that out. But I hate that my little dude right there can gain a mythium whenever I swing. But I'll block there. Trade. Okay, discard that card. My go. Turn 2 for me. I'll gain a mythium. Their turn 3. They recruit. See, they just recruit every other freaking turn, man. It's garbage. Alright. At least they got a weak guy. Good thing they don't have any standing, so they don't get a +1/+1 counter. Thank you. Finally, something for me. Okay. Alright. Flip this card. Now, my go. My turn 3. I will... As long as I got blockers, I'm kind of good, I think. They never seem to block. They never seem to swing with more than 1 guy at a time. So as long as I can keep on blocking, I'll be all right. I need 2 to play this. I'll get the 2 next round, but I can play this guy right now. Be another blocker. Right? Yep, and I got 3 standing, so I can go ahead and put the counter on you. Yeah, this card is a dead card in my hand because I don't have 5 mythium to play him. Alright, if you have 3 standing with any one guild, put a +1/+1 on Weary Vet. Got 3 standing. Alright, it's my turn. Their turn 4. Infiltrate. If your opponent controls, if they have a land, a location, they develop 1. But otherwise, they attack with 1 follower. They're going to attack with the highest strength follower, which is this one. 2 enters. Follower was defeated this round, draw 1. They don't have a hand. So that's swinging. 2. I could block it. And this one would actually stay alive, actually. Yeah, you know what? I'll take that one out. So, 2/2. 2/3 blocks to 2/2. Yeah, 2/3 blocks to 2/2. Yeah, at least all their guys are weak right now, kind of. Like, they're kind of smaller guys. Alright, 2/3 blocks to 2/2. I got 2 damage on me. 2 damage. And, what, my go? My turn 4. If your opponent controls the location, well, no. Yeah, they just infiltrate your opponent. Okay, yeah, that's discarded. This one coming out next. All right, now it's 4-3. That's better than it was. My goal, I need Mythium, so I'll get a Mythium. I could attack. No, that'll be stupid. Well, yeah, it's not beneficial to attack. I'll get a Mythium. All right, end of the round. Flip the card. No rally abilities. Gain 2 Mythium. Draw a card. 5 versus 3. My turn first. Nice. Ready cards. Alright, I think I might have the victory now, because all I gotta do is put out a location and develop it. Okay, raid the mines, attack. Response: the first time you gain power during this combat, gain 5 Mythium. Okay, not gonna do that, but we're just gonna put out this location. I go first, and then all I need is the 1 power, so drop this guy. Man, I forgot too, man, the +1 attack. I could have probably took something out earlier. I could have probably took out that 3 health thing, really. I forgot about that. Alright, but anyway, the Humble Underpass. Need to put a bead on her. But whatever. Alright, gain. Yeah, just play that location. There go. Set the trap. If your opponent controls the location, they don't. But otherwise, I hate that word because I'm reading it. It's like my opponent. I don't know. If I control the location, I gain 2 Mythium. They don't. Otherwise, it gains 1. I think it gains 1 anyway. Alright, so they got the 3 that they need. They ping one of my guys, which is the guy that I block with. I really didn't need to block with this guy. Okay, how does he choose? Ready card before exhausted, highest standing requirement. Okay, actually, after you resolve an order card, if there are at least 3 Mythium here, remove all Mythium from it. Your opponent deals 1 damage to a follower you control with the least remaining health. Son of a B. Alright, this one's dead. Yeah. Alright. God dies. My good guy, man. Either way, put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. Now they got millions of guys, man. Okay, all I need is the 1 power, and then I'm good. Because they don't attack with everything. Okay, my goal. My turn 2. I will... put the stage counters on it. I will take the action to develop a location. And, develop a location. Gain 2 Mythium and 1 power. Which brings me to the big 6. Enough to win. Yeah, in the other game, the first 5 chapters, they would attack with everybody. But luckily now, they just attack with 1 guy. Man, unless I had that messed up. Well, let's see right now. The old one was a charge. Your opponent attacks with all of its ready followers, yeah. So, different kind of game now. But of course, I won the first 2 of the first chapter 1 and 2, I believe. But now, I might win this one. I might still lose this one. But anyway, there go. They will spring the trap. If your opponent controls a ready follower, if I control one ready follower, I attack with one follower. That follower gains breach, deal 1 damage, deal 1 wound to each follower the defending player controls for this combat. If your opponent controls a ready follower, it attacks with one follower. That follower gains breach. Alright, well, I just don't let you breach, though, is what it is. But they develop a location. Luckily, they haven't had locations in the deck so far. If your opponent controls a ready follower, it attacks with one follower. Alright, the highest strength swings. This one swings. And then I'm going to block, of course. So, I got 2/2/2s. I don't want you to breach, because then you'll deal 1 wound to everybody. I could actually live with 2. I actually could live with 2 with 1 wound on it. Nah, but I don't know. Breach, deal 1 wound. It's combat. And screw that. We're going to take you off the board and we'll just trade. Take you off the board. And highest mythium cost. We'll just let you block. Okay. My turn. No. That was their turn. Yeah, because I played the location and developed it. They just did this. They just did that. So now it is my turn 3. Do I have a unit I can play? Nope. I could just do this to gain the 2 mythium and 1 standing, and then next turn I could play this, but then I don't have a guy to play for free. That's the bad part. All of these only have 1 attack, which is good for me. And you know what? I don't need to worry about the freebie, but I will just develop this location, gain 2 mythium and 1 standing with any guild. Go to 4, 2 mythium. Discard that. Alright. They set the trap. If your opponent controls a location, they gain 2. Otherwise, they gain 1. Either way, put the top card of the opponent's deck into play. Flip the card. Man, this is getting down to the tail end of the decks, man. Their deck. Okay, they had a response after this is blocked. Gain 2 and 1 standing with any guild. This is cool how the mythium goes there. Then they have a little thing that they can spend it on. That's cool. Or the standing. Alright, my goal. They went. My turn 4. I play my big guy, Mongol Quartermaster. I can't play a free guy. I hate it, but it is what it is. Okay, now they'll infiltrate their turn, their last turn for the round. If your opponent if I control a non-signature location, I develop one of those locations. Otherwise, I attack with 1 follower. All right, 1 follower ain't gonna get it, so highest strength. Everybody's a crappy 1, which is good for me. Okay, then what else? Ready cards before exhausted. Highest standing requirement. That one. And whatever. That one swings. I will quickly block that one. Okay, when this attacks alone, if it deals 1 damage to it, it deals 1 damage to a follower defending player controls. And whatever. 1 damage, 2 damage. That one dies. And end of the round. Basically check for victory. I've got 6. They've got 3. I actually win 1 again. Alright, so read the end of the chapter. Chapter 6, prepare the draft deck. Draft 3 cards out of 6 choices and add them to your deck. Gather the following card and add it to your opponent's starting play deck. Forlorn Flats, replace a recruit infiltrate. Okay, recruit infiltrate. Whoa, stupefy, whatever that is. Replace a recruit infiltrate with the recruit skirmish. Read the new rules 2 card and have it ready for future games. Proceed to chapter 7. Alright, so I get to draft 3 cards out of 6 choices. Shuffle these up. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put the draft deck back. And okay, so I can get into that blue. 3 standing costs right here. Gain 1 power. You may put a +1/+1 counter on a follower. Gain 1 power. You may put a +1/+1 counter on a follower. Attack. For this attack, all of your followers gain overwhelm. Okay, that's extra power, I believe. Patient Mentor, if they knock something out, they still get power. Patient Mentor, this one costs way too much. Storage 1, up to 1 other card can be stored face up under this card. Enter, store a follower card from your hand here. Draw 1 card. Blocks, play a card stored here, paying all costs. You gotta pay the costs. Forget that. Alright, Steel Clad Captain. Follower Warrior Augmented. If you have at least 4 Moon, ready Steel Clad Captain, it can't block again this combat. Sounds stupid. I mean, what I look like having 4 Moon when I'm splashing Moon. Gain Moon in 1 power. Gain 1 power. You may defeat a follower with printed cost 3 or less. Alright, that one sound good. Response, after you gain standing, draw 1 card. She's cool. The Den of Sabers, gain 1 power, draw 1 card and gain 1 standing within a guild, gain 2 power. That's a 4 drop. It costs a lot, but they could net me 3 power. This one costs 3 standing, but it's only 2 though. 2 Mythium. I think I'm messing with that one. Natty is gonna cost me 1 of those moons. But Den of Sabers is 4. Natty or Den of Sabers. After you gain a standing, draw 1 card. She could stay active though. She's only a 2 but 1 strength. 1 power, 2 toughness. After you gain standing. And she's going to get pinged though. As soon as I block with her, she's going to get pinged soon after that. But this right here, that can gain me a power. Draw a card and gain 1 standing with any guild. Gain 2 power. She's a 3 drop. That's a 1/2. You know what? I'll go with the Den of Sabers. Alright, so right now I'm splashing the moon, but only 1 though. This one is going to give me another moon, even though I don't necessarily need another moon. Not yet though. Gain 1 power, you may defeat a follower with printed cost 3 or less. That's great. Den of Sabers. Alright, so these ones go back to the box. Also got to get out where's the rules cards at? Okay. So replace the recruit infiltrate. Put that back in the box. With recruit skirmish. That's it. And get out the new rules 2 card and have it ready for future games. Alright, storage 4. Your opponent now starts each game with 1 void. Set up, gather the following cards and store them here. Alamut Saboteur, Alamut Emissary, Callous Closer, Raiders Hideaway, Force Interrupt. When your opponent has 2 void, shuffle all cards stored here into your opponent's play deck. Alright, so they get new cards. Get those 4 cards and gather the following card and add it to your opponent's starting Forlorn Flats. Okay, Forlorn Flats and those other 2 cards. Purple deck out. Forlorn Flats. And Alamut. But anyway, yeah, that's the video though. I'll add those 4 cards and then we'll be ready for chapter 7. Hopefully we can actually win that one too. All your games, like, comment, subscribe. Tuvok.